We did what we were supposed to do, and that was it. You know, to win a game on the road, you know, to get home court was what we came here for. So we approached it with a business-like mentality and learned from the fourth quarter the other night, but we just did what we were supposed to do.
I know you respect history and you weren't here for all what's come before you here, but understanding that this franchise hasn't won a playoff game in 18 years, to be a part of the group, your business isn't finished, but to be able to achieve that next step along the way, what does it mean?
Again, we'll talk about that this summer. You know, again, we got bigger things we're out here for. So our focus, and that's why our guys have been able to grow and been consistent, is because they just think about the now. And I thought they did a great job tonight staying in the moment and doing what we needed to do.
On Saturday, the Knicks really put his case and tried to get the ball out of his hands. Tonight was kind of the opposite. He got his first assist to the third, but obviously he was picking his matchups and taking advantage of them. Just what did you see in his overall approach tonight? How he was able to
I mean, I thought it was, you know, a great job of the guys helping him create that space. So by the time their trap was going to arrive, it was going to be late, and then there was separation and room for him to attack. But, you know, he had his mind made up what he was going out to do tonight, and he was elite at it like he always is.
Coach, to overcome, you know, the collapse of Saturday and coming into this game without Isaiah Stewart, what can you share about this team's resiliency, something that they have relied upon throughout this whole time?
Yeah, it's the makeup of the men in the locker room, right? Like, we don't have guys who give in. We don't have guys who make excuses. We just have guys that show up every single day and lay it on the line for one another. And that's all you can ask for. You know, it's a special group when, to a man, they don't want to let each other down. And so they're not going to let their own personal feelings get in the way of the job that they need to do for their teammate, for their brother, for their so, you know, that's just who we are. And we're fortunate to have, you know, guys with that type of character and that type of spirit.
Things were kind of we're going a little bit tough there at the end, but shorter, calm. Definitely hit that pretty for you. Speak to that moment.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's played in, you know, so many big games, and when you go back and watch his history, he's clutch in big games. And, you know, we've talked about it early on when he got here. He's just fearless. There's no moment, there's no crowd, there's no noise that's too big or that's going to rattle him. And again, he works his tail off on his game, but a lot of people in that situation don't have the courage. And he's got the courage to take big shots and make them.
What was the key to the job you guys did on Towns tonight?
I thought Tobias was great. Tobias did a phenomenal job of just being physical with him, you know, not letting him get to his spot, making him take tough twos over the top of him. We eliminated a lot of the catch-and-shoot threes that he'd been getting throughout the season. But I thought Tobias was unbelievable and being physical without fouling him and just making him earn everything.
Coach, you talked about how Tobias essentially has been a comfort blanket for you all season, and along those lines of things, how comfortable do you feel with him in those like games?
I mean, the ultimate trust in both those guys. You know, they just have the ability and the understanding of what's needed at that time, and they can make whatever the play is. Like, you know, Tobias rebounding the basketball tonight because he knew how important finishing possessions was for us. You know, it wasn't going to be his scoring or whatever it may be. Like, he knew we needed to rebound the ball to win the game, and he went out and did a great job on the defensive boards. Dennis, obviously, you know, the shots that he made, but, you know, his ability to allow Cade to get to different spots and then feed Cade, and then we can play off that. So we got the ultimate amount of trust in those guys, and, you know, we're lucky to have them.
How solid was your front court with Jalen Duren's performance tonight and also with PB?
I mean, both of them were really, really good. I thought JD did a great job of setting the tone early. You know, the rebound and dunk, I think, set the tone of where we were tonight and the amount of energy and effort that we needed to have and that we were going to play with. But I thought he was dominant in that painted area. And P. Reed was awesome. You got to give P. Reed credit, right? A guy who hasn't played a ton, hasn't been in the lineup consistently, but I think he came in and did a great job for us. Gave us a great spark.
I'm sure like a comfortable double-digit victory would have been nice too, but is there value in getting into the situation where it was tight at the end and you needed those big plays in this environment?
Again, it's all of this for us is learning, right? These moments for us as a group, myself as a staff with this team, like, we haven't done this before. So any test, any challenge that's put in front of us is a great test and a great challenge for us.
Along the learning lines, Brunson has an elite skill set of just, I'm going to draw 6 fouls on my guy that I don't want guarding me. Is there like a moment in the game
do that, and how do you identify that moving forward? What kind of message are you thinking to pass along to that young guy that haven't been that type of?
Well, I mean, just there's time and place. You know, a lot of the stuff that happens in the backcourt is so open that it gives the referees, leaves them sometimes no choice but to call it. But we don't want to call him off. You know, he's got a job to do. He knows what his job is. You know, if it's not Asar, it's Dennis. Like, we feel like we've got bodies that we can just keep throwing at him. And if the game is a physical game and we keep bumping, we keep bruising, you know, our aim is just to try to continue to wear guys down, right? We don't want to be on our heels because we're worried about foul calls. We need to be who we are, and we need Asar to be who he is. And he's dogged on the defensive end of the floor. But, again, there's some cheap ones we can find our way away from, but we want to continue to be physical.
What did you think of just the way Cade managed the game tonight?
He was elite. You know what I mean? Like, he is a superstar, and he played the game tonight as a superstar. And he did what he needed to do to help this team win. He understood, you know, how aggressive he needed to be on the offensive end of the floor. So he was going to go out and he was going to be aggressive. He also understood how important finishing possessions was. And he had 11 defensive rebounds. Like, that's knowing and understanding how to manipulate the game, but how to make winning plays, whatever your team needs in the moment.
Coach, throughout this season, you talked about teaching and learning. What is it? What can you share about your ability to get the message across the players? Because there's not too many times we see players, you know, understand a message this fast and so soon.
No, that's them. That has nothing to do with me, right? You know, coaches coach, we teach, we do our job, but if you're open to being taught and you're willing to listen and learn, and that's what these guys are, right? It's their willingness and want to improve and want to get better, that they go out, they listen to the messages from all the coaches. Like, our assistant coaches do a great job every single day watching film with the guys, working on their development. But it's their willingness, you know, to want to be coached and want to learn that makes our job easy.
JB, going back to Cade, it seemed like there was an intention either to get him in transition or as the Knicks were saying that he was defense to attack before it sort of settled into the defensive rhythm. Was that something that you guys want to do pregame, or was that something that Cade was feeling out as the game was going?
I mean, we saw something. Thank y'all.